Happy Friday to you guys. We're rounding out the week with Hebrews chapter 6, which is not only one of the hardest chapters in Hebrews, but probably one of the hardest chapters in the Bible because it deals with this question: what do you do with people who claimed to be Christians at one point and then fell away? Now, I was confronted with this question this week when I watched a video by some guys named Rhett and Link. Have you heard of them? Good Mythical Morning. They've had things like that, videos. And I listened to Rhett, one of them, talk about his spiritual journey of growing up in the faith, of being involved in a youth group, of going to college, being involved with Crew, Campus Crusade for Christ, being even on staff in a ministry role. And then he got involved in this YouTube career and slowly but surely walked away from the faith to the point where now, for a while he was an atheist, and now he would say he's a hopeful agnostic, that maybe there's a God, maybe there's an eternity one day, but he's more concerned with this life and just living life to the full right now, which sounds great and sounds really good, and I appreciated how vulnerable he got with that. But what we're dealing with this week really presses on the fact that hoping in this life doesn't always lead to joy and peace and happiness. I don't know how you're dealing with this whole pandemic thing, but for me, I've been pretty dismissive of it for a long time. Until this week, I was up early with my daughter and just looking through Netflix, and I stumbled on this Netflix documentary that it's called Pandemic, and it's just talking about, it was made months before now, but it's talking about what would it look like for a world pandemic to happen with some airborne sickness. So I watched it, and it talked about how people are going to lose their jobs, the power's going to go out because nobody's working, there's going to be food shortages, anarchy's going to start, and I was starting to get worried and nervous, like, wow, what if this is real? What if this is going to happen? How do I make sure to protect my family? What's going to happen? And my heart rate went up, and I got really nervous, and I finally had to slow down. In fact, this morning, reading the very end of Hebrews 6 helped bring me back. It says this in Hebrews 6, if you're there, look at it. It says, "We have this as a sure and steadfast anchor of the soul, a hope that enters into the inner place behind the curtain, where Jesus has gone as a forerunner on our behalf, having become a high priest forever in the order of Melchizedek." What that verse is saying is, Jesus is a sure and steadfast anchor to our soul. If we don't have that, if we hope in this life only, then every new wave of thing that hits us is going to cause us to go every direction. But if we have Jesus as a sure and steadfast anchor, then when these things happen, we can hope in something beyond this life. So here's my challenge to you guys, or encouragement. I know a lot of you have either in the past or maybe currently are wrestling with faith, are wrestling with doubt, are wrestling with, is God really in control? Is there really a God who's over everything? And my encouragement to you is, Jesus isn't worried. Jesus isn't in heaven going, oh no, are they doubting right now? What's going on? He's steadfast. He's sure. You're the one who's worried. So go on a journey and try to figure out, God, are you real? God, are you in control? He's not worried about that journey. You are. So find him. And I promise you this, if you journey to try to find out who is Jesus, is he real, you'll find him. Jeremiah 29 verse 13 says, "If you seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with all your heart." Seek him with all your heart, and he will be found by you. Love you guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.